Hello, my friends. Welcome back for another I Would Camp That adventure. I've got the lovely Miss Rita with me. We just stopped at a little day use area so we can do this quick little intro. We're going to be heading up to an area in northwest Alberta called Grande Cache. I've been up there a number of times for work and just bombing around exploring. I've been up there with Rita's dad, just bombing around looking at places, back roads and all that stuff, places for hunting, staging points, for obviously keeping an eye out for camping spots to suit our interests. But we're just going to get on the road. We did get a bit of a late start. Rita had to work today. We've got some really cool things that we've done to the rig, some really exciting things that we've added to the rig as well too. So I'm looking forward to showing that to you folks when we figure out where we're going to camp tonight. Well, I had the day off today, getting the truck ready. You had to work today, babe. Now we're going out for a camping adventure.
I did not have the day off, so I did my best to do some meal prep and try not to forget anything. So let's see what we remembered and what we forgot in Grande Cache.
I'm confident we didn't forget anything. And if we did, well, I'm probably forgetting what it was. We definitely love us our old decrepit buildings. They're so beautiful, so crumbly. They speak to our soul. You look pretty tired, babe, so you're probably gonna go straight to bed, eh?
Yep, if you're putting up mosquito netting, it's all you. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, sounds good. I will get that up right away. All right, I put on a little bug spray and the skeeters seem to be taking the hint. Do got some mosquito netting up, and I did steal some fridge magnets from home. So it's a fiberglass canopy, so we can't do anything about magneting to the top, but this particular net's pretty good, and the fact that we got a little bit of rain, if there's any moisture, it sticks pretty good to the top, and allows for some clearance for the back to be open too, but I should be able to slap some magnets onto the box. Rita is really tired. I think she had a long day at work. It's a shame that we couldn't both have the day off and leave in the morning, and that we had to get here so late. But Rita's juggling a few casual positions at work. So for her, like, she'll sometimes get shifts well in advance if someone knows they're going on vacation, going to be away for a week or two. But a lot of times it's, hey, can you work for me tomorrow? Hey, this just came up, can you take a shift next Friday or whatever? So she just kind of picks up when she can pick up. Otherwise she doesn't get work and doesn't get paid. Anyways, while she gets settled in the back, we're going to go back into the cab because I got some cool stuff to show you folks. So the fridge is in its usual spot and it is turned on at target temperature. And it's got lots of goodies inside. Between the fridge and the frame of the truck, we've just got a little cardboard box with a bunch of wipes. I went to visit my buddy Kyle. He moved all the way to Newfoundland, about as far east as you can go. So shout out to my buddy Kyle if he's watching. And his dad, they were just trying to get rid of stuff and purge. So he gave me all these wipes. I was having a bit of trouble with the oil pan under the hood of the truck, and it was leaking a bunch of oil. So the wipes were much appreciated. But this is also kind of serving a dual purpose because the fridge will sometimes slide while I'm driving, because I do have a bracer, and you can't see it right now, but in front of the fridge, back on the other side of the fridge, and at the back, but nothing here. So having something here just to kind of cushion that helps to keep that from moving. And we also finally, I stress finally, got recovery boards. They're just stuffed down there. It's kind of a process to get those down there. But they are down there. They're kind of helping to hold other things in place. They do take up quite a bit of space, but it is nice to have those in case we need to get out of some mucky terrain or snow or anything like that. And not too much has changed down here. We've got washer fluid. I do still have that basket that I used to keep emergency food in. Some of the emergency food I used to keep in there was not diabetic friendly, so I can't eat it anymore. And I think one of the things that I am most excited to share with you folks is we finally upgraded to a better Jackery. We got ourselves a Jackery 2000 Pro. They were actually on sale recently on Amazon for like 32% off. So that was a nice little chunk off. So what we're doing with this is, because it's so big, I can't really keep it in the foot space like we do with our Jackery 1000. Like we could put it in the foot space, but there'd be no room to plug anything in. So I'm sure for a lot of you watching, there's so many videos of these. There's your 12 volt port here. We've got the 3 AC ports here. There's a very obnoxiously bright light. I accidentally flashbanged myself in the eyes with that when I first started playing around with this. It's obnoxiously bright. And we've got the 2 USB ports and the 2 C ports down there. And the power ports for charging with AC or DC, unlike the Jackery 1000 that has the power charging port on the front, these ones are on the back. So the cable runs just long enough to reach our 12 volt port over here. Now, in order to make this work and make sure that this big beast of a Jackery wasn't moving around, and it looks like it really didn't move at all while we were driving, so that's really good. And I was taking some sharp turns and such too. The fridge and the water tank don't give it much room to move sideways, so it kind of just sits on top of the bracers for the fridge and the water tank. And as you can see, I've added these bracers in. I'm probably going to I've got a couple of L brackets down here. I don't have any on this side yet, but as you can see, that kind of wiggles a little bit. So I'll probably add a couple more over there, maybe just one more in the middle, just to give it a little more support. And I do also have one at the back. Just had those 3 pieces of wood hanging around in our shed, and I just really wanted to use them for something because they were just sitting there not being used. One thing that I do like about at the side here, again, sorry, this might be a little hard to see, but the bottom of the Jackery is sitting on top of the bracer that stops the fridge from moving any further, and the one with the water tank. Now, I don't like that something like this is right next to our water tank, but due to its size and space limitations, we kind of got to just make it work. But one thing that I do like with this, how we have this here, is it has about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of clearance off the bench. So let's say worst case scenario, the water tank gets damaged and we get water leak, and we've got water kind of slowly pooling onto the bench. Well, because the Jackery is up 1 inch or 1.5 inches, that water should just pass by harmlessly and hopefully trickle down onto the floor for me to discover later and have to have all the fun cleaning up. Rita and I have been talking about upgrading to another Jackery for a little while now. First time ever taking it out on a camp, so hopefully it'll serve us well. So far, I've been pretty impressed. I had it actually like running our fridge for probably about 4.5 hours before we even hit the road. Barely put even a scratch into the power on this thing. I think this thing is like a 2160 watt hour battery, I think. And right now we've got the 12 volt fridge cable plugged right in. I like that the 12 volt port is on this side. That just worked out that it's right on the side of our fridge. And then we've just got it running between the 2 bracers around the back of the fridge and over on the other side that you can't see below the dial with the LED display there where it plugs in. I think this is going to be really good for us. Like if we're just going out for like a little overnight, we'll just take the Jackery 1000. But if we're going out for longer trips, this will be a really good setup for us because I like the idea because before when we were running the fridge strictly off the Jackery 1000, it would have to be going to the like past the net, past the front seats, and it would have to be going to the cab. And that's where, cords could get pinched, something could get stepped on. We've lost a couple of cables because of that. So just having it all localized in the back is fantastic. It's all in the back. We don't have to worry about accidentally stepping on it. And like nothing's really moving back here. So yeah, I think that'll serve us well. Sorry, that was probably pretty shoddy camera work. What I wanted to do if we got in here earlier was actually like pull a couple of things out and show you better detail what we were doing. But like I said, skeeters are pretty bad out in this area that we've picked, and don't want to be pulling stuff out, making a ruckus, especially when Rita's in the back trying to sleep. She's really tired. But I think this whole setup in the back, like I said, nothing moved on the way here. We had, a couple hour drive to get here. Nothing moved. Oh, and I see it. All right, I got one of the skeeters doing the Lord's work over here. But yeah, I think this setup will serve us really well. Nothing moved. It's awesome having that localized in the back. One thing that I would really like to do, it'd be new territory for me. I haven't done this before, but I'd really like to maybe set up a auxiliary 12 volt port in the back and just run some wires like up the frame and down either to the fuse area, like the fuse panel, or underneath to all the plugins down by the pedals, just anywhere where we can get power, where it's, safe to do so and practical to do so. And then have a port in the back. And I think that'd be amazing because then instead of running the charging cable for the Jackery 2000 all the way to the front and having that, kind of just awkwardly in the way where, it's going to get slapped or accidentally unplugged or possibly damaged because we're, reaching around it, we could literally have the fridge plugged into the Jackery and then have the Jackery charging cable plugged into the 12 volt port in the back. So then everything to do with that Jackery 2000 could just be localized in the back and no wires running up here other than anything we might be running off of our 1000 if we have it in the foot space. Okay, I am in the back. Mosquito netting is holding together. I think I already knocked off one or two of the fridge magnets that I stole from home, I think, despite my best efforts. So I'll have to take a look for those in the morning. Definitely got to make sure we go explore that little shed over there too. Like I said at the intro of this video, I did a lot of exploring on this road last summer, some of it solo, some of it with Rita's dad. And meant to get out here, but with all the wildfire stuff last year was just not we got out to do our Crow's Nest Pass series last year, which was great. But during the summer, it was really hard to plan anything. And now we move on to our ever faithful Jackery 1000 that has been with us since before we even started our channel. With the Jackery 1000, this thing has been great. It's still serving us well. Where we've been having some issues, the AC side still works as normal. As you can see, it turns on. It's giving some output, awaiting me to, hey, stupid, plug something in. Over on the DC side, however, is where we've been starting to have problems. Now, back when I bought this Jackery, this is the first time I ever owned a Jackery product or a battery bank of any kind, and I didn't know any better. There are quite a few problems with the USB ports. I've got a couple of plugs, covers over the C ports, which we never really used. Rita and I did just get new phones, so we do have like the C to C cable now. But I've been finding that if I plug any cord into here and then take it out, it trips the DC port. It actually tripped while we were on our way here. So as you can see, like it's reacting to it being pressed, but the DC port it'll turn on for a split second and then it just turns itself right off. And the Jackery does have safety measures. So if I were to put like some kind of a damaged cable, or if it gave it any reason to think, hey, it's not safe to be on right now, it will turn off the port to protect itself. So I just took the tape and the plastic that I had on there off. And we're going to look at this little quick charge port down here. Now on these models of Jackery Explorer 1000, these quick charge 3.0 ports are notorious for breaking, and breaking very quickly. When I got my first Jackery, I actually sent it away for warranty because this quick charge port broke on me and couldn't plug anything in. And then I got this one, exact same model, and I think literally within 2 or 3 months, the same quick charge port piece broke out. And apparently that's a very common issue with this model. It's happened to a lot of people. And here's the weird thing. So like I said, the port right now has tripped. It's not staying on despite me telling it to turn on. So the other day I was playing around with this, and I'm hoping this will work again because it's kind of neat and kind of weird. I was just troubleshooting. You know, I used like a microfiber cloth. The 12 volt piece here still works fine, but, you know, cleaned that out with a dry microfiber cloth. I was taking some canned air, like what you'd use to clear dust out of like a computer tower, you know, just like blowing into the USB ports, just trying to get any dust or debris out, just thinking maybe there's something in there that's maybe tricking it into thinking that it needs to trip. And of course, this quick charge port down here that is notorious for breaking is visibly damaged. So eventually I got to the weird point of just trying random things, like just nonsensical things. And what I tried was I started plugging a cable. Like I plugged in a C cable in here, pulled it out, nothing. Plugged in a cable to the working USB port, nothing. And then I tried plugging in a cable in here and just wiggling it around. Watch, now that I have the camera on, it's not going to work. Oh my gosh, look at that. The DC port turns on. So I don't know, there's something in there that's damaged or making it think that it needs to just not work. So what I did, I actually did have a USB dust cover on here and it fell off. So I'll have to get a bigger piece of tape. Is we just rigged up a piece of tape and we put some plastic on it just in case this gets hit by heat and the adhesive melts. We don't want any melted adhesive getting into there. So basically all I did, actually I might even be able to do it just with this one here. Yeah, there we go. I'll probably need to apply some not as weathered. Oh, that's sticking on pretty good. So basically what we're doing, assuming this isn't going to just start tripping again and eventually just permanently stop working, is we're basically just discontinuing use of these ports, because where I've noticed that it trips is if we plug a wire into any of these ports, the moment that you pull it out, that causes it to trip. So I don't know if this is going to work for the long term. Absolute worst case scenario, if the DC side dies completely, we can still use the AC side and at least get some use out of our Jackery 1000. Like I said, we've had it since before we even started the channel. And with Canadian winters and stuff, I have put it through the ringer. So hopefully this will be a good workaround. I did order this little guy off Amazon. He's just like a 12 volt. And then he's got a port for a USB as well as a C port. And I'm hoping this guy will be a good workaround. He has been so far, although the DC port did trip while we were driving. So yeah, who knows? Just trying to make it work. But I'm gonna turn the camera off and see if I can kill the few remaining skeeters back here. Send them straight to whatever fiery demonic realm they belong. And then I'm going to lay down and get to bed. Rita and I will follow up with you in the morning. The plan is for us to get out and do some bombing around and some exploring tomorrow. We'll probably hit up some areas that I explored last year but didn't get a chance to show on camera last year. Maybe we'll find some new stuff. and yeah, just see what we get up to. Some of it might be weather dependent because we have been getting quite a bit of rain in our region, which has been great for wildfire stuff, but not so great when the roads get really soupy. Beautiful sunny morning. Had a lovely sleep last night. I heard maybe 2 vehicles go by last night before I was out, and only a few skeeters that followed me in last night. I can see a couple crawling around on the net right now. So I think the plan is figure out breakfast. We're gonna check out that little shed over there. And then I think we're gonna run into town and fuel up the truck, and then we've got some exploring to do today. The Jackery 1000 did good last night. The little 12-volt piece that we've been putting in is a little loose, so you know, if I accidentally like bumped it with my toe or something, it would come loose a little bit. But the DC port did make it through the night. Just making sure. Yeah, I can see the light there. And I had my phone charging, and I also had our little USB fan going all night as well too. Okay, so we're gonna keep it really simple for breakfast. Oatmeal for Rita. Steel cutouts for me. Oh, geez. The spoon is collapsible. I didn't know that. Okay, I threw a little bit of stevia in mine.
Oh, can I have some stevia for mine too?
Oh yeah, sure. I wasn't sure if you wanted any.
Yeah.
I'll just have to pull it out of the secondary kitchen box again.
Okay.
And putting some blueberries in here.
Eat as many as you can. I don't want them getting squished, so we're trying to clean out the carton.
Yeah, or having it burst open in the fridge and then you gotta fish all of them out of the fridge. That's the worst.
Yeah, I know we'll have breakfast tomorrow, but maybe we'll eat something else, get the blueberries done before they go bad.
Yeah, we'll go through those in no time.
All right, we have our sleep space closed up. Dishes are washed. We have the cab back in order with batteries charging. We're all ready to go, but first we're gonna go check out this little abandoned piece of ground. Dustin, what are you doing?
Ready to go!
Are you? Okay, we'll leave Dustin to do his thing. We'll follow at a safe pace.
5 Canadian dollars or American dollars says that I probably get attacked by wasps. Oh yeah, not much in here at all. Some old Reflectix.
I think this building's missing something.
Oh, hello.
Yet another hole in the wall.
A very big hole in the wall. I don't know if I want to step on that.
It's just gravel underneath, but it's up to you. It's a
Oh.
big step down.
Oh, you can actually see the gravel?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Careful either way.
Oh. Well, there we go. Me of little faith. And just over here, away from the shed, trying to watch my step because there are bits of wood that are like pretty well caked into the ground, so I want to watch out for nails. Got a whole bunch of wood pallets over here, some old tubing, and just an old old electrical panel here, some outlets, not even covered up, just out and exposed to the elements, and less than reputable folks have probably scavenged everything that's useful, copper and the like.
I think there used to be some bigger outbuildings for whatever corporation was here.
Yeah.
They just left their storage shed behind.
Oh yeah. Is that a well site over there?
It could be.
Yeah, I think
mean,
just
there's
over.
enough piping coming from it that it could be, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. There was a pole with what looked like a hose head.
Yeah.
Back at the shed. So I'm almost wondering if maybe this, like maybe this was a place to, maybe they had water hookup, like maybe you washed your trucks here, maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe this is literally where they refilled their water tanks to take them to the work sites.
That too.
Which would explain the lack of any buildings left here if it was just a site to fill up your water tank and boogie back.
Yeah, and all the old tubing, which you usually see for like irrigation, or like I used to do groundskeeping at a golf course before I ever came to Southern Alberta, and yeah, no, anytime we were doing any kind of irrigation thing, yeah, you'd see stuff like this kicking around. Old piece of piping, old pipe down there, and yeah. Yep, old well with water in it, and a very angry, offended ant colony. Oh, I made those ants mad. We made a powerful enemy today.
Okay, so for those counting, Dustin's enemies are pigeons, wasps, and now ants.
Well, beautiful camp. Beautiful little abandoned Explorer with a little more to it than what I thought there'd be. And now we're going to make our way to the town site of Grande Cache. We're going to top up our fuel, and then we're going to get back on the road. So we'll catch up with you in our next video. Stay classy, my friends. See you then.